Hello and welcome back to Tabletop TV. My name is Alex, and today we're going to go through an unboxing of the brand new Carnevale two-player starter box, the World's Fair Afterparty. So this is the incredibly exciting, as we said, brand new two-player starter box. It is two gangs we've not seen before in a starter box, the Patricians versus the Doctors. It's got a plastic sprue of models, which we've never before seen in Carnevale. It's got everything you need to play the game. Let's open it up and have a look at what we get. Have a look. As always, lovely cover art on the front, which I'll show you shortly. Let's go through what's actually in the box. First of all, you get a full, of course, paper rulebook. This is based on the latest version of the PDF, so it is, at time of recording, the most up-to-date rules available for the game. And it's got, again, everything you need. It's got a bit of background at the beginning, walking you through the setting. It's got, again, all of the rules, all the special rules at the back for quick reference, number of scenarios you can play, not just for the models in this box, but in general as well. And as we said, some lovely new cover art showing the Patricians and the Doctors locked in combat. We have also got a pair of scenarios we can play. Each of these is similar to the scenarios in the San Canciano, or Escape from San Canciano starter box that was previously out. You can still get that starter box if you want, of course. But yeah, these two scenarios are designed to walk you through how to play the game. So the first scenario is literally two characters versus two characters. A bit of background here as to what's actually happening, which we'll probably go into. So this is set, as we said, in Venice, just after the World's Fair, where the Doctors have put on the marvels of science, hypnotism, Tesla coils, strange monsters from far-off parts of the world. Following that, a couple of patricians, led by Viviana, have decided they want to know what else they've got. Viviana is convinced, absolutely certain, that Doctors are hiding away a number of strange beasts, including a mythical unicorn, and as a member of the Patricians, the nobility, she has to have everything she wants, so she is going to go in to the party, after the party, hence after party, and yeah, try and find a unicorn. But yes, the first scenario just takes you through a simple two-character versus two characters, quick skirmish to walk you through how the game works, and then the second scenario has all four characters played on the reverse side of the map. You don't need anything else. Everything you need is in this box. We'll get to the terrain shortly. We have got quick reference cards. Right way up. Quick reference cards that covers all the various actions you can do in the game. So this is incredibly useful even for veteran players like myself, just having this to one side to be able to quickly look up how does drowning work, how does combat work, how does grappling work, and so on. So very, very useful to have to hand. Got a set of cardboard terrain, so these will be all your little bits of terrain like boxes, crates, floating barrels in the water. A big part of Carnevale are obstacles, and again, small bits of terrain because they do block movement. They can also be used to parkour off them. You can jump onto something and then chain jump off it onto something else. So they are actually not just window dressing, they are quite important. We have a set of dice. All the dice you'll ever need. You never roll more than 10 dice at a time in Carnevale, so this should be plenty. And whenever you roll dice, you'll always roll the white one, a destiny dice, and a number of regular black dice. So, very nice. You could easily get, this will be all you need to play a game between you and your opponent, because again, you never roll more than 10. Got a measuring stick, so you don't need even tape measure. Again, you'll never really be measuring ranges above 15 inches anyway, so that should cover everything you need. Set of bases for all the characters. Stat cards for each gang. So we have here all the rules. They are the same rules the characters have in the full game, but they are essentially summarized, so you can play this out the box. So rather than the character having companion, an entire subfaction, or brackets an entire subfaction, it'll just say companion, brackets, the name of the character they actually interact with. Again, aiming to make it simple, but you could absolutely use this in a full game as well. Then on the back, we have all the background about the faction as a whole, and the particular gang that you're playing, and then the four characters that make up your gang. So we have one of those for the doctors, and we have one of those for the patricians as well. And again, same thing, all of the rules you need, lovely artwork, and they are colour-coded as well. Doctors are generally shown in a light blue, patricians in a purple, so you can easily find whose is whose. We'll come back to the sprue. Probably the most exciting part, we'll save that for the end. But we've got some other useful things in here as well. We have a set of cardboard buildings. Again, scenery is very important in Carnevale because it's all about running and jumping, leaping from building to building, diving across the canals and so on. So you do need a good amount of terrain to play. But for a small-scale skirmish like this starter box, you do get everything you need. So you'll have in there 3 different buildings of different shapes and sizes. And they're all pretty simple to put together. We will have a separate video walking through how to do it, just in case it's your first time, but they're fairly intuitive. They are similar to the ones that were available in the older 2-player starter box and the San Canciano box, but they do have brand new art to reflect the slightly different setting of, again, the World's Fair. Hence we have the pennants going across the wall there, we've got the banners of the doctors, and so on. So, 3 buildings. We've got more small bits of sketch terrains. We have a fountain. Oh, sorry, not a fountain. Previously a fountain. This appears to be a glowing Tesla coil of some description. We've got floating detritus to go in the water. We've got more barrels and crates. We have a gondola. Gondolas, again, important. Obviously, it's a game set in Venice. Gondolas are, of course, very, very important. And they're not just scenery. They can actually be used to move around. So a character can get on the gondola and row it around. Row? You do row a gondola. They can row the gondola around and transport another character on it, so you can actually make sure that your nobility never get their feet wet. Then we have a bridge as well, which you can put wherever you want across the canals. More scatter terrain. Great big fold-out... Put the fox on the floor. Great big fold-out mat. So I believe this is 3 foot by 3 foot, which is the standard game size for Carnevale. You can play in smaller, you don't usually play on larger. Yeah, so 3 foot by... that'd be 2 foot by 2 foot even. So again, this is about right for a small game like this, because these are small gangs you would want to expand for the full game eventually. But definitely good enough for a small skirmish. So we have a grid of canals on one side, and on the other side... Same sort of thing, slightly more run down, so destroyed sections along here, a bit more murky looking water, and at a slight angle, so your layout will be slightly different. There are set layouts for the buildings and the terrain for the starter missions, but of course you can do what you want once you've cut your teeth on those. So that'll keep you going for a while. All the tokens you need as well, so for tracking command points, guarding, whether a character is stunned and whether they're diving, so these will just pop out. There we go. Pop out, and you can just put them either next to the character's stat card or put them next to the character themselves on the battlefield. All that, so far, is very similar to the previous starter box. Again, there is Escape from San Canciano, same sort of thing, only it comes with a guild and a Rashar gang in resin. What's really new and exciting for the World's Fair Afterparty is the plastic sprue. Because we have never seen plastic in Carnevale before. I think when it first started it was metal, then cast resin, now some models are done in 3D printed resin, but yeah, this is brand new, and this is very exciting. We have somehow managed to cram all 8 characters onto a single sprue, which is really quite impressive. It's obviously a nicer material to work with, very forgiving. Anyone coming from other war games will probably know how plastic kits work. Really good for a starter box, really great way to get started. On here, as we said, we do have 8 characters. I'm just going to find the stat cards, remind myself who we have. Let's go through the doctors first. So, there are no leaders in this. When you make a Carnevale gang, for a full-sized game, you do need to have exactly 1 leader, and then as many henchmen as you like, henchmen being your basic guys, basically, and no more heroes than you have henchmen. So if you had, say, 2 henchmen, you could only have up to 2 heroes. There are no leaders in this starter box, because again, they are quite small, deliberately starter gangs. but you can play a small-scale game without leaders, and they add more complicated rules anyway. So in this, we do have 1 hero, and then 3 henchmen per gang. So for the doctors, what do we have? So let's kick off with the hero themselves. This is the Doctor of Divine Probabilities. Most doctors' gangs will be led by, as the name implies, a doctor, an actual scientist. The science that she specialises in is the science of statistics and mathematics. She is able to adjust fate, and essentially, when someone else has rolled a 10 on the destiny dice, she can just change it to a 1, or vice versa, to really mess with your opponent or guarantee your own actions go off, which is incredibly powerful, incredibly fun for you, and very likely frustrating for your opponent, which is what we like to see in a war game. So she is, we can see, the parts are going to be all over the sprue to make it work, because again, getting 8 models on a sprue is quite a feat. We can see there, her torso there, other parts will be around. We'll have some photos of the finished models going up as well. Then we've got her electron cannoneer. So the doctors are quite known, again, for their mad science. And that means whereas other factions are maybe using bows, maybe crossbows, a couple of firearms possibly, the doctors fire lightning. So the electron cannoneer, you can see there her, electron cannon, this taser goad rifle thing. Really fun character to use, very, very powerful gun. When it fires, the lightning can, or it will, arc from the person it hits to the next character nearby, friend or foe. So you've got to be careful of your positioning, or you may not care. You might quite happily zap the abominations you've brought with you. Just don't zap your own doctor. That's probably going to go down badly if you do. So yeah, the electron cannoneer, you can see again then, her body there, the weapon there. Again, we'll have a video going up walking you through how to build these models, because again, the parts, so they're quite intricate models, a necessity of the plastic process. Moving on, we have the monstrosity. So I probably don't need to tell you what a monstrosity does. You can probably intuit it from the name, but it is a massive, great big, bulky character, I believe with 3 arms, maybe 4. I think it's 3. But two of them are welded to this massive slab of metal, which he uses to beat people to death. He's not a complicated character. He's a massive stack of hit points, really hard to kill, wants to get into the thick of it. Because he's on a larger base, he'll be good at throwing enemy characters around. Grappling is a big part of Carnevale, and if you're bigger, you're better at it, so you can quite happily pick up some of the patricians and just toss them over there, drop them in the canal there. Yeah. Again, fun character to use, not a complicated one, but sometimes that's nice. And then the last character for the gang is a carrion. So the carrion is, I believe, the lady in the straitjacket having a truly terrible time. There's her body. Her head will be around here somewhere. Again, we'll have these building videos going up later. Carrion, what do they do? Well, for starters, they've got implanted tools in their fingers. You'll see in the artwork and the close-ups of the models, their fingers end in knives, which is horrific. I can't tell if she's screaming or smiling, but horrific for her opponents, obviously. One of the useful things she does, though, is she will let the Doctor of Divine Probabilities use her will points. The way a Doctor's gang tends to work is a lot of very powerful Doctors, who will be either mages or scientists or using crazy technology and so on. They will run out of juice. They've left their own devices. They won't have enough will points to keep going, but they can quite happily draw those will points from their patients, their experiments. So if your carrion is nearby, your doctor can just extract will points from them and use them to fuel her own powers, which is horrific and very powerful and very fun. So that's the Doctor's gang. So again, we have a Doctor of Divine Probabilities, an Electron Cannoneer, a Monstrosity, and a Carrion. An excellent start to a Doctor's gang, which you can quite happily play just on its own, if you just play the box, or you can use to expand into a larger gang as well. Their enemy for this little skirmish are the Patricians. Whereas the Doctors are the mad scientists of the setting, the Patricians are the nobility. They are the well-spoken, moneyed, from old blood, the well-to-do society of Venice. They won't usually associate with the riffraff, and they will, on the whole, just be a little bit better than you. Most patricians' characters are going to be that little bit better, so a little bit tougher, a little bit better armed, a little bit faster, because they've got the equipment that only good money can buy. They'll then be supported by characters like their household staff, their butlers, their maidservants, who they just essentially take on an adventure with them when they go out onto the streets of Venice to do whatever it is they're up to. In this case, this patricians gang is led by Viviana. So Viviana is a Barnabotti. I'm probably mangling the pronunciation, I do apologise, Italian listeners. But yes, a Barnabotti is a low-ranking noble. She is armed with a pistol and a sword. Having a pistol, again, being a bit of a novelty. Most characters in Carnevale don't have ranged weapons, and bringing a gun to a knife fight is obviously useful. And then she has the stat line to complement that. She can get stuck in with her sword, she's a good shot, and when she charges into combat, she'll be even more aggressive as she leaps in, like on the box art. Blade first, delivering extra damage when it's her first attack. So you can kind of see how she goes together. On the sprue here, you can see her dress is made up of several parts. You can see they socket into this part here that then sits on the base. Again, don't worry too much about how to build it. We will have videos, and of course there will be instructions on the TTCombat website walking you through it. She is supported by a cat burglar. Let's see if we can find the cat burglar on here. Here he is. So there's the cat burglar there. There's the majority of him again. He is a nimble fellow with very high movement and even higher dexterity. That means he can very effectively scramble up onto the rooftops, leap across from building to building, diving on his enemies knife first. If in Carnevale you attack someone and you charge them from above them, i.e. by leaping off a building knife first, you will basically go straight through their armour most of the time. So he's incredibly effective at this if you can get up above someone and pounce on them. But he's not just a murderer, he's also a thief, so he can steal will points and objectives from enemy characters by pickpocketing them. Essentially, he will charge them, and then as he backs off, they will lose a will point and he'll gain a will point. Very effective if you want to stop a doctor messing with probability, for example. Then we've got our hired muscle. Again, the patricians themselves are the well-to-do folk of society, but they do understand the necessities of gang war, and will occasionally bring in some thugs. And oh boy, have they brought in a thug. This is the large lady here. She, like the monstrosity, will be on a larger base, again making her better at grappling, brawling, not being grappled, and so on. And in fact, she even sports the expert grappler special rule, so even more so than another large character, she is good at just suplexing people into the canals. And if that doesn't work, she also carries a sword, which is just an effective weapon. Lastly, we do have a member of Viviana's household staff, that is this chap here, and he's not a complicated character, he's got a fairly average stat line, but his fire poker is a big lump of metal, so when he whacks someone with that, it will stun them. Stunned characters are basically a little bit worse in every single way. Their dexterity goes down, their movement goes down, their attack power goes down, as they just reel from being, well, hit in the head with a fire poker, which can then set them up to be stabbed further, to be grappled, or finished off. So he does work in tandem with the rest of the gang quite effectively. So that's it for the patricians half of the box. So again, we've got the Barnabotti, we have a hired muscle, we've got a cat burglar, and a member of Viviana's household staff. Again, crammed onto this sprue. I'm really quite impressed about how much we managed to get onto it. We will have videos coming up going over, again, how to build the buildings, how to build the models themselves, how to paint them. I'm actually really looking forward to getting started with painting them. I've painted quite a few things for Carnevale, but never a patrician or a doctor, so that'll be interesting for me. And we'll have some gameplay videos as well. We'll get a game put together as essentially walking you through how to actually play the game. So we'll play probably the first or second scenario out of the box using just what's in it. I'm looking forward to getting started with it. I hope you guys are too. Hope you'll make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of these videos as they come out. And yeah, let us know what you want to see, because this will be the start of our Carnevale content. We're also very keen on doing other battle reports, other content, painting videos. Honestly, you name it. Tell us in the comments what you'd like to see, and we'll get started on it. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss those upcoming videos. And we'll see you again soon. Goodbye.